Green Lantern is one of the most universally panned superhero movies in the last 15 years, and for good reason.
Clocking in at an hour and 50 minutes, the entire thing is a slog. The writing, pacing, graphics, all just awful. But all hope is not lost. Where there is a will, there is a way.
The pieces are there, we just have to put them in the right order and cut down on the runtime.
And hopefully, just like maybe Funke said from Arrested Development, it'll become
the best 52 minutes you'll spend all day.
So let's jump right into it. And right from the get-go, the intro is too long. If I've learned anything from anime, it's that any good world setup should only take a breath. Maybe two since this is a movie, but as it stands, this spiel is too winded.
I'm not going to try to come up with something better because I'm not talented enough to come up with a beautifully elegant opening.
But this is a $200 million budget movie. We can afford a poet to write a better intro than this. And then right off the rip, just so we nip this in the bud now, anything that can be done with practical effects, we do. God, there's movies from the 90s that have better effects than this. You just have to be creative. I'll try not to repeat myself too much in this video, but 2011, bad year for CGI. And then right when Parthenax kills these space miners, we cut to Ryan Reynolds, aka Hal Jordan, flying. None of this hokey, oh our main character's late, he's so quirky business. It doesn't work, and remember, this has to be
the best 52 minutes you'll spend all day.
While Ryan Reynolds is flying around, the general and the contractor are already watching the AI contest.
With just one or two lines of dialogue, they can establish the context.
Someone just yells at Hal like, hey, this is a demonstration, and he's all like, yeah, of combat. Also, if we've learned anything from Top Gun, it's that all the jets have to be real. I know we don't have space religion money, but come on.
There, we already saved like 8 minutes.
He still has his little freak out and is still scolded, but we cut it early because, spoiler alert, this whole romance between childhood friends thing, cut. Now we go back to this scene where Abin Sur, the Green Lantern, dies. And then no lame scene where he comes home. I never really got the point of this. We move right on to him getting beat up for losing everyone's job, except this time, no Green Lantern powers, so he gets all roughed up. Then after he gets beat up and stuff, Abin Sur comes crashing down to Earth. And boom, he's lying there all beat up, he gets transported. All of this is the same, you know, he finds the body, tries to help, whatever. We keep everything with Dr. Hector Hammond. And full stop, if you want to know how I'd really save the Green Lantern,
is we'd have a lot more Dr. Hammond in it. Seriously, anything that gets cut is replaced by him being the complete antithesis of Ryan Reynolds. Just the biggest dick in the world. Like he's scamming kids on Roblox, writing reviews to video games he's never played. Just the worst type of person instead of shoehorning some nerd as the villain.
And then right after we meet the doctor, we have Hal and his wingman going to that bar. He can still talk to his wingman that's a woman, just no love connection. They can talk about his dad or whatever. Then he goes home, tries to activate the ring, and then gets beamed to the planet Oa. And instead of Dr. Hammond just turning evil, I'd love for him to accept some sort of offer to become evil. But again, that's for my video on how I'd really save the Green Lantern. Then this whole body scan scene, you guessed it, gone. That's about a minute saved. Just have him fly through space and wake up in the suit. And I hate beating a dead horse, but for God's sake, can someone perform a seance to summon Jim Henson? There is no reason the 1980s labyrinth should be more immersive than this. Cut this whole flying sequence, just have them walk or Uber to the meeting and training session. Everything is pretty much the same up to the party except there can be no subtext of romance. Just wingman. Hal can still see his friend, just none of this creepy stalker Aladdin stuff. That's another 4 minutes gone right there. Then everything's pretty much the same for a bit. We can keep this fight, the meeting to appeal, yada yada yada. Except when Hal's bragging about how he beat the AI, his wingman needs to be like, yo, you won that fight by sacrificing your wingman. Don't make it seem like he did it all alone. And then when Parthenax finally reaches Earth, this is when we start spending some of that money we saved cutting all the CGI before. There is no reason the climax should look like it was made with Gmod. Ryan Reynolds kills the big bad, and it all ends when the Green Lantern Corps celebrates, and then this little speech by Sinestro. The end.
Boom. That's like 15 minutes cut right there, bringing its runtime to a much easier to digest hour and 38 minutes.
James Gunn, if you need help with editing down some DC films, you know where to find me. How would you save the Green Lantern? Let me know in the comments below.